Hi everybody. So this is another sort of replay analysis of the games at the Blizzcon finals this year. We are watching TY versus Rogue. TY. Just a quick anecdote about that. TY's name is actually just TY, but of course Blizzard or Battle.net, whatever, they do not allow you to have names shorter than 3 or 4 characters, so that's why he's duplicating his letters. Anyway, so we got a TVZ in our hands. This is the round of, this is one of the quarterfinals matches. The previous video I did was Zero versus SOS. That was a group stage match, but I just thought maybe we should just skip ahead and watch one of the quarterfinals matches, because we do not have to do them chronologically as they happen, but we just want to see some cool matchups and strategies. So here we see Rogue. He's going for his, I think it was a 17 hatchery, very standard timing. He shall be getting his gas probably just before his spawning pool. And like I said before, this is just to analyze a bit of gameplay. I'm also iterating through what each player is doing usually, just to teach myself a bit more why they do this stuff. So the gas first before the pool is obviously just to make sure that you have enough gas to get that speed as soon as the spawning pool finishes. It's a very simple explanation for that, but of course it's just I don't know. There's always something to learn in StarCraft, especially if you're not that great as I am. Anyway, so we got the normal opening here, TVZ opening. TY's opening with the Reaper into his command center. Then he will most likely produce a factory as soon as he's got the gas for that, and there he goes, and then he'll queue up a reactor on the barracks so that he can go for his reacted heliums. Rogue's just he actually went, I think before he started his queens, he went for the 3rd hatchery. That is very smart actually. The reason for that is so that you can see the Reaper is actually just chilling at the natural, but I did not catch the timing of the Reaper, but I'm pretty sure even if the Reaper went straight to Rogue's base, Rogue would have been able to get this hatchery down. That's why he went for the hatchery before queuing a queen, so that he can get the drone safely to the 3rd location. I did not actually think of this before. I usually queue up 2 queens at the start just to defend my main and natural against the pesky Reaper. But yeah, so that's a smart play. Going for the immediate 3rd. He did queue up his metabolic speed boost as well for the Zerglings. Stopped mining gas. So just going eco build right now. One surprising thing to note here is we got 2 aliens being bumped out, but as that is happening, TY actually went for a 3rd CC, so he's going for the economic play over here, whilst preparing to pressure a bit with the Reaper and the Hellions. We will most likely get a total of 6, maybe 8 Hellions. He's adding on a tech lab for the starboard, so that of course means some Banshee plays. Definitely not Ravens. Don't believe Ravens are that good in this matchup. So we'll see Banshees, maybe Cloak. I do have the production tab on, so we can just see that in the HUD. Yeah, excuse the shitty observing skills over here. I need to figure out, I must actually up my scrolling speed for the arrow keys. So yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier in some videos. Opening with quite a few queens is always good. You can see a total of 6 queens for the Zerg. Very good, especially in in TVZ. It's very good, and I'm eating my words here. Let's see actually a Raven being made. I'm just surprised because I've been playing quite a lot of ladder and watching weekly tournaments and like Home Story Cup,
And I can't recall whether or not I actually saw Ravens in this matchup. This was quite a while ago, this match being played over here. But yeah, so I apologize for that bad analysis. Anyway, it's only one Raven, not going for mass Raven strats, we're going auto turrets, la la la. Okay, so no Banshee, but Stim being researched at a normal time, maybe a bit later than usual. But we're getting more Raxes, we're getting a reactor core on the starport, and some siege tanks being pumped out. So TY definitely doing more standard stuff, except for the Raven, which is not that standard in modern play. I don't know whether or not this was meta at that time, because as I also mentioned previously, I did not play StarCraft for a very long time. But when I saw Legacy of the Void is actually free to play, the multiplayer at least, I only saw that a few weeks ago. I jumped at the opportunity because I never felt like buying the game. I wasn't too excited when I played the Legacy of the Void beta. I was not excited for this game, but I'm very happy that I came back. So double Eva Chamber is going for the double upgrades. I believe he will go for range. Yeah, it's going range, +1 range attack and carapace. Denying a third drop off there, just for a few seconds. Roaches and Ravagers and Lings pushing out on the map. The very good thing by Rogue right now is the creep spread. It's not too good here in the center, but you can see he managed to get a creep tumor over here, so he's going to the right side. Queens are dropping off and protecting the creep tumors here at the front. This is very well done by Rogue. This is how you should play. ZVT. Just keep in mind though, when you don't open roaches against aliens, you can't really do that much as Rogue is doing right now. You have to be much more conservative. The only reason why Rogue can do this is because he's got roaches to back up those queens. Aliens aren't that scary for queens, but of course when they get an armory upgrade, they can morph into Hellbats, which will be a huge problem for you as a Zerg player. So yeah, the roaches enable Rogue to take some control over the map. Usually a very hard thing to do for Zerg in the early game in ZVT. It's definitely a power struggle at the start, and it's usually Terran dictating the tempo of the game. If Zerg did not go for some aggressive all-in play. If they just play standard, it's not too great for Zerg at this stage of the game. They have to play very reactively. But as you can see, Rogue does not want any of that stuff. He's going for roach plays, he's going Ravagers. He looks as if he's preparing for a huge attack right now. He's got 66 workers, equalizing with Terran. He should actually have more than that. He should have more than Terran, but Rogue, it looks like actually I should go to production. Yeah, he's basically going for a very large attack. He's not playing for the economy game right now. There he goes in, anti-armor missiles going onto the Ravagers and all the roaches. But this looks like too much for TY actually. The Ravagers are pounding all the units of TY. This last lone siege tank is going to go down. There's another one here in the natural, actually two to defend. But this will mean that the Ravagers will pillage this freaking third base. And I don't think TY will be able to defend this third for now, or will he? Okay, anti-armor missiles doing some work. Yeah, so Rogue did make a few drones if you saw in the production tab, and I believe I missed some action somewhere. Because he lost quite a few drones during the process. Yeah, I believe there was a drop. Sorry for missing that. My observing skills still need to be trained and honed to perfection. No, I'm just joking. I think I'm perfect, but I'm just close to it. So yeah, this attack was actually thwarted by TY. Now Rogue has to fall back. He's still only sitting with +1/+1 upgrades. I'm not sure if I like this observer interface too much because I can't really see the upgrades on units. So where do you go for that? Okay, that's pause. Yeah, I'm not sure where you can see upgrades. Still have to figure that out. Sorry about that. So, oh, it's actually, yeah, they're skewing +2 attack, range attack, so it's definitely 1-1 at the moment. So this game stabilized a little. Rogue did make more workers now. He's sitting at 78, which is very healthy for a Zig player. So now he's just going to reinforce with army. I'm surprised that he does not have a Baning Nest. I do not see one. I do not see any Banings. So that should mean, yeah, no Baning Nest. There he's getting +2 carapace. So yeah, all in all, there's some drops being done by TY. Here on the left side, he also tried to push a little bit. He has to immediately pick up because there are quite enough units to deal with that, especially with the queen. The anti-air attack. I'm not too sure. Okay, there we see the Baning Nest. We should be able to click on that. Yeah, so it shows there, and the infestation pit. Okay, so interesting now. When you look at the state of the game right now, you see TY almost maxed and Rogue also. But TY has got a healthy economy. It's not too great, but it's got a healthy economy. It's only on 3 bases. And I believe with all these racks and stuff, he's definitely going to try and end the game right now. Because he should suspect that the infestation pit is on its way, or at least in production, or almost completed. So he knows, excuse me. Well, there he sees it anyway. So he knows he's on a ticking time bomb because I've taken out the research. But anyway, so he's pushing in. He's got a decent army. Siege tanks doing their work. He's microing his marauders and marines. The Ravagers are doing decent damage, but they're not strong enough against this type of army. And there's the GG. So the last thing I wanted to say, yeah, and this is exactly what I kind of predicted when I saw this push out by TY. Oh shit, can we rewind? Yeah, okay. Just want to pause over here. So yeah, like I was saying over here, TY definitely suspected that Hive Tech would have been on the way. So he confirmed the infestation, but did not see that Hive Tech was in fact being researched just yet. But at this stage of the game, about 11 to 12 minutes in, you should know that the Zerg will be on his way to Hive Tech if he has not played to all any in the game. So he knew that he had to apply some pressure or end the game before Hive Tech comes out, because then the game evolves into a huge power struggle between Terran and Zerg. Well, less of a power struggle, more like Terran has to react, and he can't. You'll have to manage his army and multitask much better, because he'll have to start producing Vikings and stuff, and make sure that he buys time for himself to get a decent composition going against Broodlords, or Ultras for that matter. But usually it's Broodlords, I'd say. Broodlords are slow, so then he'll have to buy time by dropping everywhere on the map, so that he can pull apart Rogue while he produces Vikings or Ghost or whatever to defend against whichever tech Rogue goes for. Even against Ultralists, they are a bit slow, especially off creep. So you can pull apart the Rogue army while he amasses the correct unit composition response. Anyway, so yeah, so TO is almost maxed out at 11 minutes. He's got his third base, but as you can see, he did not actually fully saturate that. His plan was quite evidently, was to just have a small army who's getting rallied over here. Just have a small army to defend any counter attacks, but then have his main army with marauders, marines, and siege tanks, and medevacs, of course, pushing out. This is quite decent composition against Ro8 Ravagers. There aren't many banelings involved, so this is definitely decent. The siege tanks deal with the roaches and the zlings, in fact, very well. So yeah, this final push came over here, is going to the third of Rogue. He wants to deny this the fourth, to destroy this fourth base. As soon as he does that, the tier 3 tech of Zerg definitely gets a lot less scary, because the economy, his main base will almost be mined out, usually. Okay, it's a bit early for that, but yeah, usually. And then he's struggling to take map dominance, the Zerg struggles then. And the smart thing, I've also had a Terran player do this against me once, and it was so annoying. you do huge battles like this. He's preparing for a huge battle over here, just poking in with the, you see this is also smart, poke in with about 1 or 2 medevacs and about 10 or maybe 16 units at a time. Poke in, kill some creep tumors, and then just pull back. Just a quick note as well, just for especially less experienced players. Awesome thing with this is if the Zerg does not, especially when he has Banelings and Zergs here at the front, if he does not have his units on hold position, which is a huge mistake that many players make, even on a bit higher levels. If they don't have them on hold position, it's very easy as the Terran to bait them out. So you can just start attacking stuff, and as soon as they're in range, they will immediately follow the Terran units. That is awesome strategy because the siege tanks will be in range to attack them then and get some chip damage on them, which will make the following fight much easier. Oh yeah, and so the last point that I want to mention here before this fight where TY just destroys Rogue is he sent 2 Liberators across the map. He sent one here to the third. Just to annoy the mineral line. You see, Rogue had to pull all his drones because otherwise they'll get just demolished by this freaking laser going to the ground every few seconds. So that was so smart, and he sent one to the natural as well. And even though we have 2 queens defending, they take a while to destroy Liberator. Don't know what the HP is. That's why I actually hate this interface for replays. I don't know what the HP is, but I just know from experience that 2 queens take a few attacks to destroy Liberator. So this is just excellent play. He's basically denying so much income for the Zerg at this moment, even though it's only for a few seconds. The reason for this is most likely, now that I think about it, the reason for this is it's not just to harass the Zerg. Terran here is going for the killing blow, essentially. So he wants to deny any economy that he can right for this moment. It's not to get him ahead later on in the game or to get him to acquire an advantage in the game. It's actually just to end the game. Because now Zerg won't be able obviously to reinforce much quicker. So so the point I just want to make it's probably very obvious, but it's not too obvious when you think about it. Could have been just to delay the hive tech or whatever, something like that, you know, just to keep the Zerg busy so that he can't get into Brood Lords or whatever too quickly, or just to keep the Zerg busy. This is really just to, it's probably to keep him busy, but it's more to deny the mining so that the Zerg can't reinforce that quickly. As you can see, the Rogue bank is not too huge, so he can't make too many units to defend. So yeah, so let's just watch this final battle once more. You see the placement of the siege tanks, very smart. Bit weird to see 2 tanks right next to one another though. It's not too smart, especially against roaches and the Ravagers for the corrosive bile. But anyway, let's just see this final battle. Army size, you can see that army value is way too high for Terran. That's probably the issue we have right there. Anyway, there he goes, pokes in. The Zerglings and Roaches immediately go. They clump up, which is a huge issue. That was a huge blunder by Rogue. You can just see the army dwindling. Weird enough, siege tanks attacking over there, not even attacking the main Zerg army. They're not needed. And there's a GG once again. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this retarded analysis of a game. It's just fun to watch the games and just go through them by actually just talking about them. It helps me to get new perspective as well. Even the smaller things such as the mining, the drone mining denial by the Liberators, even small things like that. It really makes a difference just to spot them and actually think about why they are being used, and not just yeah, of course, you noob, why don't you know why they're used, you know? It's not always that obvious. So I don't know, if you have any inputs or whatever, just send them right over, and thank you for watching. I'll probably do game 2 next up for TY versus Rogue.